is Nano, bringing you stories and mysteries from all around the world. So get comfortable and let's break it down. The life of O.J. Simpson. From Football Hall of Famer to movie star and murder suspect, has captivated the country for decades. On Thursday, his family announced Simpson, 76, had died of cancer. Orenthal James Simpson was an American football player and actor. He played in the National Football League, or NFL, for 11 seasons, primarily with the Buffalo Bills, and is regarded as one of the greatest running backs of all time. His professional success was overshadowed by his trial and controversial acquittal for the murders of his former wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend, Ron Goldman, in 1994. It has now been over 28 years since Simpson was acquitted of the brutal murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and waiter Ron Goldman. Decades later, the infamous crime remains unsolved. From the televised criminal trial that captivated the nations to the kidnapping and armed robbery charges that sent him to prison, here is a look back at the key moments of Simpson's life. In the 1960s, Simpson became a college football star as a running back for the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. In 1968, he won college football's top award, the Heisman Trophy. In 1969, Simpson was the first pick in the NFL draft, and he made a name for himself paying for the Buffalo Bills. In 1973, he became the first in the NFL to rush for 2,000 or more yards in one season. Simpson retired in 1979 and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985. Simpson then left football behind for Hollywood movies, starring in popular Hertz commercials in 1970s, as well as movies including Capricorn 1 in the 1970s and The Naked films in the 80s and 90s. Simpson, who had children with ex-wife named Marguerite Whitley, married Nicole Brown in 1985. So Simpson had an ex-wife, and now he is actually, in the story, he was married to Nicole Brown in 1985. They had two children, Sydney and Justin. In 1992, Simpson and Nicole Brown Simpson divorced. On the night of June 12, 1994, Brown Simpson and her family had dinner at a Los Angeles restaurant. Ron Goldman, a waiter at that restaurant, went to Brown Simpson's home that night to return glasses her mother had left behind. Around midnight, Brown Simpson and Goldman were found to death at Brown Simpson's home. Simpson was in Los Angeles the evening of June 12, but took a late flight that night to Chicago. When he returned to Los Angeles the next day, he was interviewed by police, but not immediately arrested. On June 17, 1994, prosecutors ordered Simpson to surrender, but instead he fled in a white Ford Bronco with his friend Al Cowlings, leading police on a slow-speed chase that brought Southern California freeways transfixed country. Defense attorneys claimed Simpson was wrongly accused, but prosecutors argued that Simpson was a controlling husband who abused Brown Simpson. Prosecutors also pointed to blood from the crime scene found in Simpson's cars and home, and the fact that he was unaccounted for more than an hour on the night of the During the trial, the this in the 9 years I've been here and not trying to make any excuses now. When asked if he believed that the property was his, Simon replied, "It's been ruled legally by the state of California that it was my property and they've given it to me." Simpson also reassured the board that he would be successful meeting the conditions of his parole, saying, "I'm not a guy who lived a criminal life. I had some problems with fidelity in my life, but I've always been a guy that pretty much got along with everybody," he said. On October 1st, 2017, on the first day he was eligible for release, Simpson, then 70 years old, walked out of the Lovelock Correctional Institute in Nevada. Simpson's attorney, Malcolm Lavergne, said his client, upon his release, wants to enjoy the very simple pleasures that he hasn't enjoyed in 9 years. Tom Scotto, one of Simpson's longtime friends, told ABC News, "All he wanted to do is spend time with his family and friends and his kids and play a little golf." In the wake of his release, Simpson lived in Las Vegas. Simpson was active on Twitter and regularly commented on events including the Capitol riots and the Derek Chauvin trial. Simpson's family announced his death on April 11, 2024, one day after he died from cancer. On April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. They wrote on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. So if there wasn't really any strong proof whether Simpson was the one that murdered his wife